Yo, this is Gyromancer here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Toxikk. Just before we begin, keep in mind that Toxikk is only in early access, so a lot can change between now and the full game release. So Toxikk is a first-person shooter developed by Reactor Studios that reaches all the way back to the days of Quake and Unreal Tournament to create a new arena-styled shooter. So Toxikk is quite similar to Quake and Unreal Tournament, but since it's a newer game, it looks much better than Quake and Unreal Tournament. The devs put a lot of work into making it look spectacular. Other than just looking great, Toxikk is also fun to play because it is an arena-style shooter. It's fast-paced, adrenaline-pumping gameplay that is addicting. And if you all don't know what an arena-style FPS is, let me give you a quick rundown. So arena-style FPS are games designed to be fast-paced that anyone can just sit down and start playing immediately. There's no level progression, and everyone has access to all the weapons and equipment. When you spawn in, you must rush to gun pads. I don't know if there's any particular name for them. And you have to pick up guns from the gun pads. Gun pads are spawned specific guns that are scattered all around the map, so you'll find gun pads just everywhere. Some maps have vehicles that spawn at designated spots near your base. So back to Toxikk. There are currently 3 game modes. Bloodlust, which is an every man for himself deathmatch, in which the point is to get the most kills. Squad Assault, which is a team deathmatch. And Cell Capture, which is capture the flag. There are currently only 2 maps in the game. Foundation, which is a small city map that's based in China for Bloodlust and Squad Assault. And then there is Twin Peaks, which is a large mountain map designed for Cell Capture. Since I am an Unreal Tournament 2004 player, I'm kind of looking at Toxikk from that perspective. So I'm going to give a few similarities between Toxikk and Unreal Tournament 2004. So, in terms of weapons, the Violator is basically the assault rifle that's amped up a bit. The Stingray is a link gun and a shock rifle combined. The Falcon is a sniper rifle. The Cerberus is the rocket launcher. The Hellraiser is the Redeemer, but I haven't actually been able to get a hold of a Hellraiser yet. I've seen the explosion go off before, but I've never actually been able to grab one. And then the Impactor is the shield gun, but the Impactor isn't actually in the game yet. And then there's also weapons that are not part of. There is a flamethrower that is called the Dragoneer, which is not in any way in Unreal Tournament 2004. And there's also a shotgun called Bullcraft. And even though in Unreal Tournament 2004 there is the Flak Cannon, the Flak Cannon is so different because it's a heat scan weapon and the pellets stay together and they bounce around, whereas the Bullcraft is just like a normal shotgun that the pellets spread out. There is also a Raven, which is the weapon you start out with, and just a quick thing about the Raven here. Honestly, I think that they really need to buff the Raven or change it somehow. I don't know. I just feel like when you spawn in and you only have the Raven, especially in Bloodlust, you're basically helpless. And the gun pads take 30 to 20 seconds to spawn a gun. And so you can just be standing around getting spawn camped all day. I mean, you spawn in random spots, but it's just the gun pads don't generate new guns fast enough for the Raven to actually allow you to be effective while you're waiting for the guns. But anyway, those are different from Unreal Tournament. There are a lot of other comparisons to be made, such as vehicles, but we're not really going to get into that. In terms of abilities, you can actually go invisible by pressing Q, and there's a little energy bar down in the bottom corner next to your health, and this sucks up some of the energy, and you go for invisible for like 2 seconds, and it's not complete invisibility. You can see them, you're just harder to see. And then another thing that you can do is when you're playing Cell Capture, I don't know if because there's only 2 maps in the game right now, so I don't know if you can do it anywhere else. But on Cell Capture, you can also spawn in a hover bike by pressing G, and you can actually ride the hover bike while carrying the cell back to your base. All the other vehicles, once you hop in them, if you're carrying the cell, you'll drop the cell. In terms of vehicles, there is a 4-wheeled truck thing that has a gun on the top, and so somebody else can hop in and fire it while you drive. It also has a boost. And then there is a hovercraft that is one-manned, and then there is a big flying like gunship thing that's just one man can fly it, and you can shoot down machine gun fire and missiles. So once you fire up Toxikk, you will be able to choose between boot camp, which is a single player mode with bots, or you can play multiplayer. If you pick multiplayer, you can either choose to host the game or join one. Setting up a host is pretty easy, and you can add a password to your game so you can limit the players to just your friends. So if you want to have a LAN party or something like that. If you just want to join a game, it's also simple. You just go into the join game and there will be a bunch of games that will pop up, and you pick one that you like. It will tell you the game mode and the map and how many people are on it, and you just join it. So outside of the gameplay, what all can you also do? When you head to the settings menu, you can access a customization tab that allows you to customize what your character looks like in Bloodlust matches. Options include the choice between character models. There are two factions in the game called Dreos and Exocom. They're just what the character models look like. There might be some backstory that they haven't implemented in yet, I'm not sure. You can also choose your main and sub color, a glow color, a camouflage pattern, an armor tag, a clan tag, and your country. Keep in mind that name tags can only be 9 characters, so my name is Gyromancer, which is more than 9 characters, so I changed the armor tag to just say Gyro, but when you actually in chat, it will just cut off your name at 9 characters, which is kind of annoying. I think they really should let it go all the way. But anyways, one interesting feature that isn't actually implemented in yet, at least as far as I know, when you have the game, you can get a hold of a map editor that allows players to create their own maps. So in the future, we'll actually be able to create our own maps and upload them, and people can download them and play on them. So hopefully people will be creating some cool maps. I might look into it myself. So yeah, the final question that can make or break a game is, what is the payment model? And Toxikk is designed to be a pay-to-buy game, so you buy it once and you're done. And they did this in order to stick to the arena style, because if it's free to play, then they might be making money off of things like pay to win. They didn't want it to become pay to win, and so you just buy it and then you can play it for however long you want. The game is currently $19 on Steam, or you can buy a 4-pack for $55. Keep in mind this is early access, so I don't know if the amount of money is going to change in the future. So that pretty much wraps up this Look at Toxikk. If you are convinced that you would like to try out Toxikk, keep in mind that it is only in early access, so you won't be getting the full game right now. If you want to play now anyways and help out the Toxikk dev team, go buy it on Steam and have some fun. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all later.
Flawless victory.